Spider monkey tails have fingerprints, or rather tail prints. We'll talk about that and more fun spider monkey facts as I sketch this little primate. So let's just turn the page and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning on a Saturday. It's hard to believe that it's already Saturday. But on Saturday mornings, I like to do a little thing where I pull a toy from the toy box, a random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier, if you will, and I draw it, and we talk about it. And today's random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier is a spider monkey. Now, we actually do this every day at 5:30 a.m. Texas time. So you may want to set that notification bell so you don't miss any of them. But spider monkeys, we've been doing this every day for 426 days. We haven't missed a day in 426 days. I don't even know how to stop. The spider monkeys, the first thing I did not know about spider monkeys that I discovered, and this is rare for me because usually, I already know this stuff before I start researching it. Spider monkeys don't have thumbs on their forelimbs. They have nubs. They have vestigial nubs where they used to have thumbs. But the swinging through the trees put evolutionary pressure on losing the thumbs because it was disadvantageous to grab the branches as much as it was just to hook the branches. And so the ones that just hooked the branches survived better and were more successful in passing on their genes. I did not know that about spider monkeys. I figured spider monkeys were just like every other primate because all of the other primates have opposable thumbs on both of their forelimbs and back limbs. Except us, we don't have opposable toes. But all of the other primates do. Spider monkeys are New World monkeys. They're South American monkeys, and they're one of the oldest lineages of monkeys in the New World. And they're considered one of the most intelligent, which is funny because they have a brain the size of a pecan. They're tiny little things. What's that? Yes, good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Joe. I saw you breeze through there a minute ago. Good morning, Rick. The spider monkeys are considered quite intelligent. They can respond to their name. They can follow a few commands. They are considered quite intelligent.
Is the vertical supposed to change?
No, the vertical is just supposed to be overhead with the model.
You got it.
Because if the vertical changed, you would always move the book off screen. People really like having these things as pets, so a lot of them have been stolen from the wild to be sold as pets. But the tail, I started talking about the tail. The tail is prehensile. They can use it to grab onto branches and wrap around branches, and they can suspend themselves from their tail and eat and scream and fight and all the stuff that monkeys are prone to do. They can do all that stuff while they are hanging by their tail. Where is there a heavy shadow? Is it there? Is it that one? Where my hand is while I was drawing? All of my lights appear to be on. Did I bump one? That would be... Maybe I bumped one. I do that from time to time. I bump them just to confuse myself. But thank you for bringing it to my attention. If it was bothering you, it's probably bothering somebody else too, who didn't know how to tell me. The tail has a fingerprint or a tail print that's distinctive, just like fingerprints are to humans, and they have fingerprints also on their fingers. But the tail has a fingerprint that is also distinctive. What else do we know about spider monkeys? They live in a matriarchal society. The females decide where they're going to go. In most primate groups, the males storm in and become dominant and push the old males out, and then take over the troop, tell the troop where the troop's going to go. In spider monkeys, it's the females that leave the troop and go find a new troop, and the males all stay in the troop they were born into. Yeah, in all of the other primates, the males hit puberty and then start wandering, and they find another troop. You know, they take over the troop if they're capable. They try to join or take over the troop, kill all of the nursing infants so that they can push the females into estrus, push the females into being ready to mate. But in spider monkeys, it's the females that go out and find a new troop, and they take over the troop. They violently take over the troop. Tell the troop where to go. I said they're considered one of the more intelligent primates. One of the things that sets them apart is they live in troops of 25 to 50 animals, and then throughout the day they'll break up into smaller groups of 3 to 8 animals while they forage and wander around. And then at night, when they all come back together, They have to remember their roles and where they go. Which is also unusual among primates. So these guys have quite a bit going on that's different than the rest of the animals. This is my favorite part of the process. I probably never told you guys this, but this is my favorite part of the process. When I do the shading, it's what turns the two-dimensional drawing into a three-dimensional. Gives it depth. Yeah, the chat's quiet too. That's darker than I wanted. What's that? What you said? Okay. I said they're one of the oldest lineages in the Americas in the New World. Can you not see his other back leg from my point of view? No, from my point of view, I cannot. I can see in the picture that his back foot is sticking out right here, but from my point of view, I can't see his back leg at all. All right. I'll show you here in a minute. When we get done, I'll show it to you from my perspective. Let me dry this real quick so we can add some color. See here. Get a little vermilion. I don't want to start with him being bright orange. I want to work up to bright orange, but we're gonna start with the foundation of vermilion. They're critical seed dispersal mechanisms for the or the jungle, they eat a diet primarily of ripe fruit, and they spread the seeds throughout either by dropping uneaten food, or the seed sometimes passes through them through their digestive system. And they're one of the top seed dispersal animals of the jungle. And when anything moves into their area, they have a tendency to get violent. They will start breaking off sticks and throwing sticks at the intruder, at the interloper. And then when that doesn't work, they will begin to throw urine and poop at them. And it's way darker than I meant for it to be.
Cameras is nice. I need a potato toilet.
Time for new paper towel.
Okay. My fridge is not too good. If this fridge is
There are 7 species of spider monkey. I should have changed mics at the beginning of the program. I kind of thought that was going to happen. Did Pamela get the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, Pamela asked a really good question. Pamela asked about how do they have fingerprints on their tails if their tails are covered in fur? Great question. And we Googled it and discovered that the underside of the tail does not have fur. The underside of the tail has like a palm print. And a fingerprint on the tip. Because, like I said, it's prehensile. They can use it to grasp things. It's not a tail like a cat tail, where cats can move their tail, but they can't really do anything with their tail. Their tail is more of a communicative device and a way to balance themselves as they walk along fine wires. But these guys can actually reach up if they're sitting. If they're standing on the floor or on a branch, they can reach their tail up above and grab onto the branch above them and pull themselves up and hold on to the fruit and take the fruit with them. The other problem these guys face is research. They react to certain diseases, specifically malaria, the same way that we do, and they respond to the vaccines, the malaria vaccines and treatments, the same way we do, and that makes them a prime candidate for scientific study for medicinal purposes. I'm opposed to that. I understand that it was necessary in the 50s because lots of people died from malaria up until then. I understand that it was important up until then, but today I believe they can have other models. There's plenty of prisoners they could be using for that kind of stuff. All right. Before I go down a rabbit hole there, it'll get me in trouble. There is my version of it compared to the photograph. Let's see here. Let's see it from my perspective. There it is from my perspective. And zoom in on him, you can see that back foot is obscured by his front foot. So there it is from my perspective. That's what I did this morning. Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? What could it be? What could it be? Ooh, the suspense. Ooh, the suspense. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the White House. We'll talk about the White House. We'll talk about how the White House was burnt down by British troops after they sat down and ate Dolly Madison's meal. Dolly Madison had prepared a meal, and the British troops invaded, found the place empty, sat down using the president's cutlery, and ate the meal, and then trashed the place, looted the place, and then burnt it to the ground. We'll talk about that and more fun White House facts tomorrow while we sketch this little domicile. So you may want to set your notification bell so you don't miss that. So guys, thank you, Pam. Thank you, Pamela. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. This is my favorite time of the day when I get to art with my besties. It holds me accountable to my art practice and is often the only art I get to do. I really do appreciate every one of you coming out this morning. Joe, Rick, Pamela, thank you guys for joining me in the chat. It keeps things moving along and lively, and I do appreciate the questions. Be sure and tune in tomorrow, same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. We dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing, because when they see me dancing, I will know that the lag has caught up with the stream and I won't get cut off mid-sentence. Everybody gets a chance to say hello and goodbye. It gives everybody the chance to ask any questions that they might have.